Welcome back to Hockey Talks. I'm Carlos Dave. We're going to touch on today, we are going to touch down on the NHL playoffs and what's going on around the league, around the playoffs there. Thatcher Demko being injured for the Vancouver Canucks and what it has done or what is it going to do and mean for their playoff chances. But Dave, before all that, I wanted to touch base on a absolute broadcasting legend who passed away Wednesday afternoon. Bob Cole is an icon in the game of hockey for Canadian broadcasting legends. He died at the age of 90 years old, and the hockey world is remembering him today. The biggest moments of his career has touched on so many players through the fan base, NHL, all the players and stuff like that. There's so many countless memories of his when he called the Calgary Flames Stanley Cup in '89, or the last time a Canadian franchise won the Stanley Cup in '93 with the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of big broadcasting moments, and to his final NHL game he ever broadcasted for the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2019. This man was a legend through and through. There's no doubt about that. The league will surely miss his presence in and around the hockey world. I'm just curious to what your thoughts and on both Bob Cole and what he's meant to you and what he's meant to people around you that you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's if you go by the saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And sometimes those persistent individuals being around the league, and I think of everything that they've been through, always being there. I'm sure he had a fantastic relationship with a lot of like coaching staff, a lot of players, and all that. Just being all those a given, a constant, and to think back, he was around even when the Leafs won a Stanley Cup. I'm sure, which is
Yeah.
just absolutely amazing. So. I mean, he's gonna live on, in the stories and in our hearts, and it's a shame to see him go, but to see the impact that he's had on the league is just, kind of makes you reflect and think back as to everything he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. 50 years he's been broadcasting for CBC and some of Sportsnet, but the Canadian Hockey Night in Canada being the big one. But
Yeah.
50 years in broadcasting, that's pretty hard to pass by and not know who Bob Cole is. He will be
Yeah.
missed and will be missed greatly around the league and forever remembered. Um, just felt like we figured we should probably touch base on that a little bit hearing the news today. But I do want to dive into what is going on currently in the NHL right now. Thatcher Demko um, gets hurt after game one. He played outstanding in game one, got the Canucks to a victory, a 4-2 victory after the comeback late in that game. All to find out hours before game two that he will not be in the lineup and they're not sure when he's coming back. Um, the injury is undisclosed right now. Nobody exactly knows what's going on with him. If he'll come back to series, this sounds like probably not. But yeah, the Canucks, I mean, their chances diminish quite a bit, don't you think?
Sorry, what'd you say?
The Canucks' chances diminish quite a bit not having
Yeah, I mean,
Thatcher
you have
in net.
it's not just the fact that he's an amazing goaltender, but it's also the confidence in what he brings to the team. And I know Vancouver has a pretty solid defense. They're going to get their backup in there, their secondary in there. DeSmith, I think it is.
Yeah, Casey DeSmith. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he's going to bring some to the team too. He's going to be a goaltender, but take it from a Leafs fan. If you can get a prime, AAA goaltender in the net, it's definitely going to help out the confidence of your team. They'll know that he can take a shot. The fact that he's out on injury, I mean, it's not necessarily impossible. If I understand, it's not actually impossible for him to come back. Like, do we know what the injury is?
We don't know. Yeah, we're
Yeah, it's
not too sure about the
undisclosed.
undisclosed right now. They're not saying too much, but it doesn't sound great. They're speculating that it could be his knee again, which he's had issues before the end of the
Yeah.
season where he came back for a couple of games, which he probably shouldn't have. But some were saying that he might have re-aggravated that injury.
Well, that's what we talked about this maybe a week or two ago about how in a playoffs, it's not just your team that gets you through it. It's all these injuries that you have to deal with.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sometimes injuries like, number one goaltender, possible number one goaltender in the NHL gets hurt.
yeah.
I can't see Vancouver going all the way without a goaltender like him, but if they can push long enough to bring him back and then he can push the latter end, then I could see them going away. But as for beating Nashville, it's certainly going to make it more challenging.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. I mean, having a Vezina candidate as goaltender go down,
yeah.
which they really relied on. He was a massive, massive part in their team, their success this season. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Vancouver Canucks are going to have a lot of work um, trying to protect their end and trying to limit the amount of work Casey DeSmith has to do. But
Hmm.
it's going to be a tough challenge. Nashville proved in the last game that they really wanted. Although the Canucks had what was it, 84 shot attempts, but only what 22 of them went through. Like I mean that's incredible. Like Nashville is in it, and they're making sure that nothing gets through to their goalie. So we'll see where the Canucks go. We'll look forward to it. I think Friday is their game three. So Casey DeSmith will be starting again once again, and we'll see if they can have a bounce back game.
And it's going to be in Nashville too, hey,
It's gonna
which
be yeah, it's gonna be Nashville.
it'd be tough, but I mean, hopefully, I think last game he allowed three goals or two or three goals off of 15 shots.
Yeah, last game.
Which is, I mean, if the shots never really tell the true story, you don't know how like what kind of shots they're if they're deflections or
Yeah,
just the true story. But that stat is is a pretty bad stat. It's like a
it's
Samsonov stat. So
yeah. Well, it doesn't help when the first shot of the game, the first shot against Casey DeSmith went in.
yeah,
So I get it. It's probably and it took a bad deflection. Like I mean, he was going the other way and it kind of bounced off a couple of guys and went in the net. So you can't
yeah,
really blame him for that. But it's just
yeah,
the first shot that just can't do a whole lot for your confidence when you know you have to fill in such a big role coming into the playoffs here, fill in for Thatcher Demko. That's got to be a tough task for anybody. And the players
yeah,
feel it too, not having their number one goalie in there. The players definitely feel that. I
yeah.
believe. So we'll see if they can bounce back in game three, but the chances have gone down significantly, I do believe, for the Vancouver Canucks. Flipping on the other side, in the Eastern Conference, the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they've once again facing the Boston Bruins, and you can see the
Don't even get me
history.
started on this.
Okay, well, look, okay,
What a
they
ridiculous
don't
game.
okay, they first of all, they don't have William Nylander. We found out today that it's migraines. Could be due to maybe they're thinking concussion protocol, concussion, something to do with that. So they're not giving
And
too many details.
anybody out there that says migraines, oh, that's not not
Oh,
that big of a
it's big.
deal. They've never had a migraine before.
Yeah, yeah,
That stuff
exactly. But
sucks. You can't move, you can't function. So it's not just him being a baby,
no,
you
no,
know.
no. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to do anything with migraine. And if it's
And
something to
we
do
shouldn't
with,
expect him coming back.
I don't think he will either. I think at least not
Not
for
if it's
this
something
round.
like that.
At
Not if you
least
know
not
anything
for
about
this round.
headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's coming back for this round and maybe longer. But the
But they
Leafs,
don't need him. I don't know, in my opinion.
no, they don't. They don't. They've got
It's like
Matthews.
they shouldn't, yeah, shouldn't like hold off for him is all I'm saying.
No,
You know.
no, yeah.
Uh, But I
There's
mean, yeah, that game was really interesting without going in, too much details. I just thought it was very, very interesting how some things yet again were called and other things weren't. And, not saying that if they weren't called or if they were, it would have changed the game. But even the announcers were kind of saying that should have been called.
yeah.
The little dance that Marshawn was doing on the ice,
Mhm. Did you see
you
that
know.
in game? Was it game three or game two?
Yeah.
That fake
Oh.
the injury that
Oh, like
Marchand
what is he even
where
doing?
he
Is
got
he playing
slapped where he got capped on the back of the leg and he went
is he
down on
playing soccer?
he
Marshawn, what
grabbed
are you doing?
you see he grabbed the wrong leg. He completely
Did he
grabbed the wrong
actually?
yeah, he went down and grabbed the wrong leg. It was a
Oh
total like
man.
dive, obviously. It was a little tap on the back of the calf and he went down, he grabbed the wrong leg. So
Yeah.
obviously, but that's typical Marchand, right? You can expect that from him.
Yeah, but that's the thing that irritates me though, is it's the typical Marchand. That's just what everybody says.
Yeah.
Oh, Marchand is holding a guy down on the ice and isn't getting called. Oh yeah, it's typical Marchand.
Well, no,
It's like, well, no,
not necessarily, guys. They should
call the
call him.
bloody penalty. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
absolutely, they
Is
should
it people
call him
always
for
say
sure.
it's typical Marchand. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's typical refs. You know what? Yeah, I don't know.
But
And
you
I'm
you can't deny
not
that.
saying what's that?
You can't deny that he knows how to get under people's skin big time. He knows how to do that. And
It's because he
he
gets
does
away
it
with
very
it though.
well, very well. But Sheldon Keefe's
He
comments
he
too
he
is
goes
similar
and
to
he
that.
licks people's faces.
Yeah, that was bad.
Now,
That was
here's the
bad.
thing, Carl. You go to an office space and you go to your coworker and you lick their face. You
Yeah,
go
not
into
going
a
to go over
place, you go
well.
into a business and you go and you lick the person's face that's helping you and serving you. What do you think's going to happen? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
can't do that stuff.
no, you
And
can't do that.
nothing happens.
Nothing
And
happens. Yeah,
obviously it's just, you know, it's not, I'm not saying that if they didn't get the calls or anything like that, they
yeah,
would have won the game. I'm not going there. All I'm
yeah.
saying is it's amazing how they just turn off the penalties and the
Hmm.
calls and then
Yeah,
they just turn them right back on.
yeah. Little
And
inconsistency,
that's what
right?
caught me. Yeah, that's what caught me, by interest. It's all about momentum and momentum swing. And when you do something like that, it's a
Yeah,
loss of momentum. That's what
it
it is.
is. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A couple of key players need to get going, like Marner. Where'd he go again? I haven't seen much of him. I think he's gotten one assist.
It was a good assist, but
It
yeah,
was
the
a good
rest of the game,
assist,
he
but
was,
I mean, he had once again he's not showing up. Like
yeah,
where'd he go? Austin
yeah,
Matthews had a fantastic second game. Did you
second game, yeah,
second the second game they played? Yeah. See that breakaway goal? That was a nice goal.
yeah,
But yeah, he's got to continue what he's doing. Otherwise, the Leafs, I don't think have a chance. But Marner's got to step up.
he's got to
Right?
tighten up for sure.
He's got to contribute some.
There's a lot of players missing opportunities though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you won't see Marner and he's a playmaker and all that, but at the same time, like these guys are getting the pucks. And like there was one opportunity last game where I think it was Tavares put it over to Bertuzzi. And instead of Bertuzzi just shooting it instantly in the open net, he kind of backpedaled it a little bit. And then he shot and the goalie, saved it. And then he got a couple of the rebounds, so he took a couple more bounces at it. But it would have gone, like maybe not gone in, but he would have had a better opportunity had he just shot quickly. So
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
noticing on the team is there's a lot of second thinking. Maybe it's almost like you're taking maybe one too many passes. Um, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those where I think the momentum has a lot to do with it
Oh,
because
yeah, it
you
does.
know how the Leafs work, and whenever they get
Yeah.
their momentum built up, they just get it completely shattered by some. Don't get me wrong, not all penalties are BS, but the way that they just like slammed Matthews on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I mean, nothing
what?
called.
That's exactly what happened last year to Nyes, and he got a concussion because of
Oh,
it.
yeah. 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 I don't know. It's
So how far are they going to let it go? And you know what? It's not even like I'm saying that it's all against the Leafs. Like I'm sure this is happening in other series as well. And if not yet, it's going to.
yeah.
Last year, I think it happened to Carolina. I haven't really tuned into that series too much, so I'm not sure how that's going. I think they're up 2-0 though, but
Yeah.
yeah, would be nice.
Carolina's up 2-0, and as far as I seen that they were winning tonight, right,
Yeah,
3-1. So Carolina, I picked to pretty much walk all over the Islanders, which so far they have been.
yeah.
Um, uh, but I don't know if they can have. I feel like Islanders have one bounce back game and they'll come back in. But right now, I feel like they're going to go 3-up tonight, and they're
Yeah.
going to clean them up probably Sunday. I think was when the Islanders will get the next game, and Carolina will take them out. That's what I think. Florida, on the other hand, once again, is up 2-0 in the series. Last I checked, just before we came on here, they were winning 4-3
Yeah.
in game 3 in the third period. So if they go up 3-0, I think that's it for Tampa. I think they're gonna
You can never count them out,
never count
but
them out
yeah,
fully. There has been
it's
strengthening, but
looking doom and gloom.
the odds are for coming back from 3-0 are not very good. So I expect the Panthers to probably finish it off.
Yeah.
Uh, Colorado and Winnipeg. That was an intense first game. Do you see the score on
Yeah.
that? 7-6. Like
Yeah. What was it? Six
wild.
goals scored in the first period or something?
Yeah, between the two teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then Winnipeg was up like 7-4, and then Colorado got two goals within like a couple of minutes to make it really, really close. And then
Yeah.
Colorado took the following game as well. So the series is tied 1-1 right now. So that's going to be a very tight knit series all the way to the end, I think. But we'll see what game three brings us for that series. And the Rangers, I think so far are walking all over the Capitals, like we predicted
Yeah.
before. Capitals barely squeaking into a playoff spot, and I just don't think they have the energy to keep up with the Rangers. But things can turn, like you said.
Well, and how
Um,
about those Golden Knights?
no, I had the Golden Knights. Guess who scored the first goal of the
Yeah.
series? Mark Stone. Oh, didn't
Oh,
he have a
someone's feeling
lacerated?
better.
Didn't he have a lacerated spleen on in February, mid-February?
Yeah.
And magically he came back to training camp and then or back onto the ice with non-contact jersey. And then the day before the playoffs, 100% cleared to go.
He's better.
And then he's better. And the first
Yeah.
game, it didn't look like he had an injury at all. Scored the
Yeah.
first goal of the series, and here we go.
Yeah.
Vegas
And now
Golden
they're
Knights
2-0
making
against the
now they're
top
2-0
team in the NHL.
in the
Or wait, does
West. In the
the
West, Rangers
West?
are
Yeah,
above them.
Rangers
Yeah,
beat them. That's right.
yeah, but
Still though, that's pretty
still,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Second. Oh,
Oh, I wonder how that happens.
yeah.
Only if you maybe go over the salary cap and
But
uh, but it's
yeah,
not illegal.
we had mentioned this though, like Vegas, they have a strong team. They got a couple of decent pickups on that in the
Yeah,
deadline.
yeah,
And then you have Stone as well. They're a great team. Watching them play last year and watching them play this season this year, they're a playoff team. They're built for the playoffs.
oh,
They
absolutely.
slam the body. They're so fast,
Yeah,
and
fast,
their
physical.
passes are just stick on stick.
Yeah,
And usually a team in the NHL, at least in the first round, goof up on some of that stuff. It's just they're not making any mistakes. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's almost like in the playoffs the team that makes the less mistakes is the one that wins. But since there's always so much on the line, they make a lot of mistakes, and somehow the Golden
yeah,
Knights are just making it work.
yeah, yeah. Well, once you can manipulate it and not like it's illegal. It's very, very legal right now, which I always think they maybe should change a little bit. But that could be a topic for next time. But
It's a strategy. Yeah.
it's a strategy right now. Yeah, put some guys on injured reserve, get a good couple of top guys in. Once you get into the playoffs, there's no salary cap, so you can add whoever you want.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. And there they go. The strongest team in the playoffs right now is what it
Yeah.
looks like. Are the Vegas Golden Knights, and we'll see if they can repeat their championship and get to the final, unless the Oilers also looking very strong right now. Although they did lose last night to LA, but it went to overtime and it was a very, very back and forth game between those two. And
But that scares me a little bit on their behalf.
yeah,
The Oilers,
yeah,
they dominate game one. They go from
yeah.
that to an overtime loss.
Hmm.
I get it was a good game and all that, but
Well, they
I
never
don't
did
know.
lead. The Kings led the entire night.
Yeah.
Kings led the entire night. They could never get the lead. So, but the
I just
Kings
find it
played hard.
interesting how they go from completely dominated to it's like they made one heck of a correction,
Yeah,
against playing against Edmonton. And how is the next game's going to go? Because LA, you can never count them out.
I think it was a little bit of a
I
wake up
think,
call for Edmonton. How good and how much they dominated in the first game.
I mean, there's a wake up call in the form of holy crap, yeah, this is the playoffs, we need to play.
Yeah,
And there's a wake up call in the form of holy crap, this is the playoffs. We need to play. And you still try to play, but you realize that they are more adaptive than you.
yeah,
They're like what I mean is their play style can
yeah,
change
yeah,
more than yours.
yeah. More than
And
oh
so
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm interested to see. How is Edmonton's play style going to change?
Edmonton has a
Or,
very, very predictable play style, I think.
that's what I
They
mean,
they
right?
keep it
Yeah.
very much the same with the top, well, three guys I'll say right now between the goal scorers, which is McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman.
Yeah.
These guys are scoring goals, but it's the same thing almost every time, right? And once you can
Yeah.
figure that out, who else do they turn to? Sure, they got Bouchard and Kane, which he hasn't really shown stuff yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and Nurse, he's been kind of absent a little bit too. So they're gonna have to look to different directions, I think,
And
if they want to get
yeah,
ahead in
so
this series.
how does that play style adapt?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
like Edmonton, how are they supposed to adapt now to the way LA is playing? Because that's what sports are all about,
yeah, they gotta
right?
figure it out and adapt
It's
and
all the
change, try to
yeah,
prevent what happened this time. Too many open
yeah,
chances, and they gave Kopitar a breakaway in overtime, which
yeah,
that shouldn't happen. And yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to refigure their way they play against LA because I think LA just figured them out. So, but
yeah.
it's
And it's
only
only
been
one game,
1-1, right? Two
but the
games
thing is,
here.
it's not just one game. If you
No,
look at the way it happened. Their home team, they went from spanking LA to losing to LA,
yeah,
and that's why it's like it's just we'll see what happens next game. But if it is a close game next game, then all I'm saying is they'll probably, still beat LA. I mean,
yeah,
never count them out, but they could still get through. But then look out for next series because, unless they're playing a similar team play style, they're just gonna lose. And
yeah.
I'm sorry, but going against a team like Vegas, whew, look out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. Going against Vegas if they go in the next round, which actually I think if whoever wins out of the Edmonton and LA series will either play Vancouver or Nashville
Yeah,
in the next series.
I
So
see.
either way,
So it's gonna be
well,
Nashville,
depending, they
Nashville and
might have.
LA.
Yeah. Well, so far it's looking
That's
that
what
way.
it's beginning to look like,
That's
eh?
what.
Oh
Well,
dear.
we'll
All the
find out.
Canadian teams eliminated round one.
Well, let's not hope for that yet. Nashville and LA, yeah, and then Vegas and uh Colorado.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Or I guess
matchup.
that would be Winnipeg out, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
right.
Winnipeg out. Yeah, but yeah, well, there's still lots of hockey to be played, and things can turn around, right?
And
People have
injuries can
known that
happen.
injuries can happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you never know what's going to
Goaltenders can come
happen.
up big,
Yeah.
60 save games.
Oh, absolutely.
Old school cool. You never know. DeSmith might end up like really performing
Lighting it
well.
up. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, he was put in a bad spot. You found out that morning that Demko was not going to play, so he had to be ready within a few hours to
And
play.
it's almost a good thing because you want to talk about wake up call. How is
Yeah.
that? You
Yeah.
wake up and you
Yeah.
realized, holy crap, I am not prepared. At least it's not a game seven. It's
Yeah.
a game two, I believe. So now the next game he's going into, I bet you he's going to be a little more prepared.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna know a little bit more what to expect because he hasn't had too much playoff experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will find out with that series on Friday, as all the rest of the series in the NHL playoffs, and see how they unfold in the next few days. And it's going to be a lot of fun watching these here in the last few days here. So, but once again, thanks again for joining us here tonight on Hockey Talks. We look forward to talking to you next time. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.